The AI Optimist with Declan Dunn.
Hey, this is Declan for episode 18 of the AI Optimist podcast, and this time just me talking about AI agents. Specifically, the new dawn of AI agents, how to create your own GPT, ushering in a new era of intelligent workflows. Now, this is where AI gets real. Creating your own AI agent is what you should be thinking about to actually simplify and make AI work for you, way beyond just creating content. AI agents use large language models, like in this case, ChatGPT, to understand your goals, do tasks, and complete them. And you've seen them before. There's Siri and Alexa, where you talk to it. Maybe you want to search, make a phone call, answer questions. There are chatbots, which you've seen a number of sites and which are cool and do some limited things. And there's things like smart home devices, smart thermostats, or lights that adjust settings based on your preferences or schedule. Well, with this recent announcement from OpenAI, it's opening up for all of us. So let me show you a few of them in action. Now, this is a GPT created in about 10 minutes, I think, by Ethan Mollick of One Useful Thing on Substack, a great site, and it's called Trend Analyzer. Now, what this is you go to ChatGPT and you're able to actually use Trend Analyzer to look at what products are happening. So let's show you what Ethan actually did. So when you go into Trend Analyzer, you can see that he asks a question of Trend Analyzer, clicks a button and said, yeah, I'd like to design a product for you. To get started, tell me what kind of product you're interested in. So Ethan types sneakers, and notice this is being done live. Now it's browsing Bing. The goal is find out sneakers and create an image of it. So it's searching sneaker design trends of 2023. It's searching different websites. This is using Bing, using the web, and bringing back information. It's like a search that's going to create a prototype of these sneakers. And it comes back and says for 2023, the top trends are high top sneakers, chunky silhouettes, hiking shoes for everyday wear, soccer-inspired sneakers, retro running shoes, and vibrant and bold colorways. So she goes, would you like to proceed with anything? And Ethan says, you decide. So this is happening automatically. He set this up just like I'm going to show you how I set mine up. And now it's actually creating images of what he wants to be created, a prototype for a sneaker that fits into the current trends. Remember, he did this in a few minutes, setting this up using ChatGPT. Boom, there's what he got. Now, that's one example of an AI agent whose job is to go out, search trends, and create visual images. These are the possibilities that we're all in front of right now. Well, now what I want to show you is one called VC GPT, created by a man named Parr, an investor. And his idea is that you upload a deck, a startup deck or some business you have, and it will show you whether that will be funded by VC. So let's see what that looks like. Now, this is being done live, and I'm going to be a little sneaky with Ben's GPT. I'm going to upload a deck from Shopify that I downloaded that got funding. So I upload the deck. Please evaluate this deck. Okay? So it takes a little while. I'm sending the message. Now, it's going to look at the Shopify deck. This is pretty amazing. Now, I'm doing this because we know this got funding, right? So what does VC GPT think? Because it's built on Ben's knowledge. He could upload documents. I don't know if he did this. He shared it. But often you could put your own knowledge in. And I'll show you a little bit of that later, how I created my own. But it allows you to say, hey, do this. Here's the goals. Here's what I want you to do. And here's an overview of the company. Business model, multi-channel commerce platform. This is all live, by the way. Key strengths: rapid growth, scalable SaaS model, expanding market reach, robust ecosystem, product excellence. Financial highlights: consistent growth. This was when it made like $200 million. So this is a great deck, okay? And it looks like it's competitive, opportunity for growth, long-term viability, presents a compelling investment opportunity for investors. So obviously, it gave it a yes. But what I would ask you, because Bren has this big thing, yes or no. And the idea is that if you have a startup or a business, you could use this and you could get feedback on what's recommended. Yes or no. Investment, further due diligence. Based on the assessment, my recommendation would be a yes. It exemplifies strong potential. However, it's important to note should be considered within your strategy, risk tolerance, blah, blah, blah. Recommendations to improve. I haven't spelled it wrong. Let's see what it does. Because here's the deal. And eventually you're going to be able to talk to it. So I'm sending it text. It's giving me the answers. So to further strengthen, here's some suggestions for Shopify. Continuous innovation, AI, machine learning integration, market expansion. This actually was an older deck, so it didn't have AI involved with it, which it does now. Strategic partnerships. Look at this. You could do this for your own business. Create a deck explaining your business, what it does, who's the team, where the money's coming from, what your goals are, what your rates are, whatever, and actually run this by for a business development. I'm not even caring if you're looking for investment. Look at what you're getting. All of this are recommendations for company growth. That is an AI agent. All of this came from the recent announcement from Sam Altman of OpenAI. Let me just share a little brief insight into what Sam shared.
You can build a GPT, a customized version of ChatGPT for almost anything, with instructions, expanded knowledge, and actions, and then you can publish it for others to use.
That's what we're talking about. Publishing this for others' use, creating this, and they're creating a whole marketplace where you'll be able to go in and use these tools if you're a subscriber, because to create one, you need to. And I'm going to dive in and show you how I created one in 10 minutes that'll analyze your analytics and give you recommendations for a 30-day action plan. This AI agent is what's going to dominate next year and is actually where AI makes itself useful to you. Because before, creating content, that's nice. And there's some tricks and cool things, and I love it. But the fact is, what are you doing to waste time? In our next pod, we're going to talk about intelligent workflows, how to evaluate how much of your job is spent shuffling paper, looking at spreadsheets, doing tasks that are a waste of time if you could get something to do it automatically. So now that we looked at VC GPT, let's talk about a simple guide to creating a custom GPT. And let me step in to show you how you would start the first few steps, and then show you how I created my own GPT and walk you through that. The first thing we do is go in ChatGPT. Now you will need to be a paid subscription to be able to create a GPT, and I believe even to use one or to buy one in the marketplace. That I'm not sure about yet. But first thing you do is you check in, and you will obviously see on the left-hand side, you can select Create a GPT, which will lead you to this screen. And I've shared a link in the podcast blog for those who want to try. So you click Create a GPT. Now what that's going to do is lead you into this screen that has a create, configure, and a preview window for what you do. So we're going to go into the steps later that I did for DataWise Director, my GPT, but basically you need an outline of what you want to do, the key elements, actions, numbers that you want people to evaluate, actions you want it to take. What is it about? Outline it a little bit. So let's say I want to go in and say, hi, I'd like to create a podcast promotion GPT. I enter that, and this is live. So it's doing this for real time. Now what it's going to do is ask me, right now I'm chatting like you would normally chat with ChatGPT or any other large language model. How about naming this GPT Podcast Promoter Pro? Does this work for you? I'm just going to say works for me, obviously. I can go and do this, and now it's going to create a profile picture for me. Now I can create my own. It can create it. But look at what it's already done. How can I promote my podcast? What are good social media strategies? Can you suggest ways to grow it? I need tips. So what it's done is actually created the basics that I can then go, and here's a pretty picture of podcasting, and that all sounds great, right? What specific types of promotions? Look, it's guiding me through this. Now, if you know what you're doing, you can click the configure button, and you can give it a name, Podcast Promoter Pro, and as you see on the right-hand side, it's updating it. The description, I can add this in the configure section myself. Here are the instructions I gave it, which actually it gave me because I didn't tell it anything. Here are the 4 tabs. See over here on the left, you can name them, you can type in, right? You can upload files. Like I wrote a podcasting book years ago. Could I upload that book? I could upload PowerPoint, PDFs. I could upload training materials. That will give it knowledge that you provide, though you want to be careful that this doesn't get shared. So right now, I think you should be safe, but if somebody's really smart, they might be able to see your materials, but it will get integrated into the reactions. And then you have the web browsing. Remember what we saw with Ethan Mollick, being able to web browse. The image creation, remember that I'm going to show you how it creates images for me. It created the image for the podcast pro promoter logo, which I can change by myself or I can let it do it. And code interpreter is really good because, well, it lets you run code. It can analyze data, work with files you've uploaded, do math and more. I like code interpreter. So that's really the basics of creating one. So let's now step in a little bit deeper and let me show you what I did with my DataWise Director. Now, if you go to declandunn.com/GPT, you'll be taken to DataWise Director. I also include a link in the podcast blog that you can review for those who got the email. But let me show you about the DataWise Director, how I set it up, and a little bit about what's involved. So we have our 4 buttons, remember, just like we did. Now, if I click here, I can edit the GPT. And again, it lets me change anything, or I can click the configure button, change the names of my buttons. I've uploaded 2 graphics to give it intelligence, my knowledge, in addition to what's in ChatGPT, which, as you've seen with the podcast one, is pretty smart, and the different actions created, or I can continue to discuss it. But let me jump into an example for you, show you how I've developed this, and then show you it in action. As you see on the screen, or if you're listening, I'll walk you through this. We see the ChatGPT standard interface for discussion and asking questions. And on the right-hand side, DataWise Director, which looks like basically DataWise Director with 4 buttons on the bottom. That's been the same with all these GPTs. So let's take a look as we run this through. And now I'm going to ask ChatGPT a question, because what I wanted to do was to add the ability to create line charts and pie charts to visually show people the analytics. DataWise Director is based on looking at your analytics, Google Analytics, uploading a PDF or a CSV, and then showing you, giving you recommendations and an action plan. So by typing those words, can you show me line charts, pie charts? It's now thinking, and as those who are listening to the pod, just like any GPT, it's just interfacing and asking questions, typing them in and responding. And on the right-hand side is the DataWise Director GPT, which is basically the words DataWise Director, and then 4 buttons on the bottom that let you do things, and a standard window where you can chat, type text, and be able to get answers. Now, the goal is I want you to find out with your Google Analytics what numbers actually matter. So as I asked ChatGPT, the answers coming up, it said, sure, we have the ability to create charts. So now we're all set to go to create charts and visuals. So let's see how it runs. Now we're looking at DataWise Director, and I'm typing in, if you're seeing this, I'm actually uploading a file that I got from Google Analytics about the AI Optimist. It's a PDF that I exported, and I want to give people the ability to look at their own numbers for organic traffic. This is what I instructed it to do, not ad buying or anything like that. And please analyze this for distribution to my team. So what I wanted to do is take these spreadsheets, all this data from Google Analytics, and give me the important numbers. So I entered that, please analyze for distribution, uploaded my PDF, and anyone can do this for free who's invited in. And hopefully if we continue to develop this, use it even further. And so it says here's user engagement. And what I'm reading are the things that are showing up on the screen. How many total users, new users. This is the important data, average engagement time, how long people are spending. I don't have total revenue, so it's 0, but I don't actually count that. Data covers the period. It then gives me the source of new users. This is all automated within DataWise by setting this up in about 10 minutes. Just typing instructions. It gives me my top campaigns, email, organic search, direct traffic, social, where countries they're coming from. Now it's taking this out of the PDF I uploaded, but instead of having to sift through it, I find out that the United States and the UK and Canada are my top sources. User activity trends. It's showing me the most viewed pages that are at my site, where people go, what they view, and what's important to them. This kind of data I can then copy and paste and send to my team. You cannot email through ChatGPT yet, and possibly that's going to be hard, but it goes into listing top events, page views, user engagement. I don't do conversions, but it would cover that if I included that. So it says to distribute this report effectively, it suggests that it can create visual charts. I had just asked it to do this. So please focus, and it asked me what areas it want me to focus on. So I'm scrolling to say, okay, wait a minute, where do I really want to focus? So I'm typing in, please focus on source of new users, which is very important. Most viewed pages, which is very important to me. Who are the new people coming from? What are they watching? And my top events, page views, user engagement, session start. Those are considered top events in analytics. I click the button, and what's happening is it's analyzing my data and actually coming up with pie charts and line charts that I can then visually share. I could put this in a presentation. I could just email this, copy and paste. You have to take whatever answers come out of here out of ChatGPT because it will not save it for you. It's only able to do this live, and it's not able to save it as a record. Maybe that will change, but for now, the person has to save it. So we're taking a little time while it's analyzing as we look at this. And what's really, really cool about this is DataWise Director is actually going to come out with pie charts and line charts to go along with the data that it's put in text. The deal here is that I'm taking a problem people have with Google Analytics, which is reading spreadsheets and all those reports. I don't have a problem with it, but many of the small businesses I know do, and they're not really sure how to pick out the key numbers, what they should take action on. So DataWise Director is designed to not only give you, as it does now, showing me the pie charts and line charts, it's showing me the source of new users, giving me directions, and it will also give me a 30-day action plan to go and take this data and do my next 30 days. So what I've designed this for is that anyone coming in who doesn't use Google Analytics well will be able to have their data analyzed, have it looked at, have suggestions made, recommendations, improvements, and a 30-day action plan, all by just clicking in, typing in instructions to ChatGPT, to DataWise Director, which is my GPT, just like the other ones, is actually its own little GPT. And the cool part is you'll be able to get these on different sources, like the marketplace that they're going to put out. So people can buy them, maybe monetize them, and we'll see how that works out. They're sort of like a Google or Apple store for apps is going to be the marketplace for these GPTs. Now, I've just asked it to outline recommendations on my action plan for the next 30 days. And it's now showing me days 1 to 10, giving me specific steps to take: SEO optimization, social media engagement. It suggests I increase it because I'm not getting as much traffic from social media as I should, which this is new. It's a new sort of game, so I'm playing it. A content strategy. Now, this is instructed to look at organic and content marketing. It's not designed for e-commerce yet, but it could be, which is one of the suggestions it actually gave me later on for improvement. So what it's doing is showing me all possibilities that I have and an email and referral marketing campaign. And basically, it's completed all its tasks, data analysis and adjustment, review every 30 days. So I can then use this as a plan to be able to share with my team, but also to improve my business. So as you see, it's not only really impressive, ChatGPT gives us the capabilities to create GPTs to solve specific problems. And I've shown you 3 examples. So let's take a little review and give you some next steps before we look in next week, where I'll share with you how to actually really analyze what AI agent is going to help you, because Ethan Mollick's Trends Analyzer, AI agent that helps you find trending products and creates prototype pictures of them. VC GPT acts like a virtual VC. You upload your deck, your business plan, it analyzes it, gives you recommendations, and says whether it would invest and tells you how to improve it. DataWise Director takes a look at your old, past Google Analytics, reviews them, gives you pie charts, reviews, summaries of what's happening, and gives you recommendations and a 30-day action plan. That makes it an AI agent. So now I'm going to walk you through some recommendations and steps to create your own AI agent, your own GPT, or at least understand how it helps solve problems that you might be doing, tasks that need to be automated, saving you time. After all, you weren't hired to shuffle spreadsheets or forward emails. All of this is possible with AI. So let's take a look at creating your GPT. Now, if you want to create one, you have to have a paid account, sign up for ChatGPT. You can look at existing templates, look at what others are done, or do what I've shown you. Just click a button, say, I want to create this, tell it what you want to do, and have it guide you. I suggest you run on ChatGPT for efficiency, but you're not going to be able to do everything you dream of. Because remember, if you want to, I can't automatically pull your Google Analytics. That would require permissions and things like that. I can do it feasibly, but if I want to run on ChatGPT, then you have to bring that, upload that PDF or CSV file, that's an Excel file, and then have the results sent to you, and you will have to email it to people. In the future, maybe that's a service I could create it into, seeing if there's demand. So you have to save your results as a user. So you want to create interesting facts and questions about your topic. And as you saw with my example with a podcast promotion, it's going to suggest things for you that are really basic, but you want to take it to the next level. Customize the responses. If you don't like something, chat with it. Say, hey, I didn't like that. I don't like the title. Or go under the configure tab, as I showed you previously, back to that section, to be able to pick out the instructions, what the tabs, what knowledge, and what you want it to be able to use. And be patient as you learn about AI and how it works. Sometimes this is early. Sometimes things may sort of hiccup. That's okay. We just want to make sure that you're not expecting perfection, okay? Because it takes ingenuity, iteration, and updating to create a great GPT. This is dynamic. What I mean by ingenuity, you want to think about solving a problem and usually start with your own. What's causing you busy work? What's making it hard to do? Next week, I'm going to go out into diagramming and getting into your own workflows to see where you can actually 10x your time. Because it is possible, but it's not just about creating content. You need to test it out. It is possible if you create a GPT that monetization will happen with the marketplace. We don't know yet. Will people use it? Will they buy GPTs? Is it enough to make them use it? Leave that to the side. I hope so, but even if it isn't it worth it to have one that could help you? Sharing your creation. Share it with friends or family. I've shared a couple with you from Ben Parr and Ethan Mollick. Ethan shared his on Twitter. Ben shared his on LinkedIn. And thankfully, it will allow us to share it for all of you. Watch for issues. Do things work? Do people get confused? Get feedback. The best thing is to set up a simple Google form if you haven't done it, a form or some email address where people can actually say, this worked, this didn't, I'm a little confused. Ask on social media. Two of the people I've shown you here asked for reviews on social media. I'm sharing them because I really like what they did at Trends Analyzer and VCGPT. So what you're learning is how to define and deliver on an AI agent. Even if you don't create a GPT, how powerful is that? So if you want to improve your GPT, and if you take a look on the podcast page for this specific episode 18, I've included what ChatGPT told me to do with DataWise Director, how I could improve it. Adding more information. Watch what users want to do. One of the suggestions for me was if somebody wants to focus on these numbers, let them. If somebody wants to focus on something else, let them and encourage them. Let them focus. Maybe they buy ads. So my approach wouldn't fit for them. Mine's more content marketing and organic. Give them the options. Bonus points for setting up video calls with 10 users. This is the greatest thing, even with customers. Talk to 10 people and listen. Ask them questions, what they liked, what they didn't like, what they were hoping for, what they got let down on, what they were really happy with. Let them talk. You will get so much information. Whether you use a GPT or not, this is gold. Listen, don't interrupt, and tweak the responses. You can do it on GPT. You can do it to your own business. And don't worry about getting everything perfect. The best part is seeing your GPT come to life and sharing with others. So that's the end of the AI Optimist episode 18, how to use ChatGPT's new GPTs as an AI agent. This is a new dawn of AI agents where they help us do things. And this is really where you're going to find the power of AI. Is not just creating content. Everybody thinks it's all about ChatGPT and creating free content, and that's nice and it's awesome. But what's really beautiful, think about those tasks you do. I used to have people running divisions, managing advertising campaigns, and they would spend a fifth of their time, 20% on spreadsheets. I could create a GPT and automate that for them. I could have it summarize. If I'm doing a phone call meeting, this is recorded, it's automatically transcribed, summarized, and sent to all my stakeholders, employees, fellow executives, outsourced remote employees. Now we don't have to go back and say what's happened or someone missed the meeting. It's done automatically. Fireflies.ai is a great example of this as a paid service you can do. Or create a GPT and see what happens. Creating AI agents, this is what 2024 is going to be about. Unlocking the power of AI is unlocking the power of AI agents.
The AI Optimist.
My name's Declan, and I'm done. See you next time.